of members of staff from the National Assembly of Kenya. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, warmly welcomed the distinguished guests to the National Assembly.
And in another announcement, the Honorable Madam Speaker did recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Eastview School Limited in Lusaka District, and on behalf of the National Assembly, Madam Speaker did welcome the visitors to the institution.
Thereafter, the House went on to consider urgent matters without notice, and the following urgent matters without notice under Standing Order 142 were raised. The first matter was raised by Mr. Yota Mutaya Chalo, Chairman North Member of Parliament, and his subject matter was on the critical shortage of water in Chairman North Parliamentary constituency caused by drought. This matter was inadmissible.
And the second matter, urgent matter without notice, was raised by Mr. Taulo Chewe, Member of Parliament for Lugasenshi, and this was on the subject matter on what government action is on taking to curb scammers and hackers targeting citizens on cell phones. This was also ruled inadmissible.
Thereafter, the House did consider a ministerial statement that was rendered by the Minister of Transport and Logistics, and this was on the interventions the government was undertaking to ensure the safety of motorcyclists on the public roads countrywide. This followed a directive by the Honorable Madam Speaker on 29th October 2025. The Minister also briefed the House on the recent happenings on the public roads with respect to motorcycles and other road users, and hence the measures earlier alluded to.
And after the ministerial statement, the House went on to consider questions for oral answer number 69 and Standing Order number 80. And after that, there was a private member's motion which was moved by Solwezi East Member of Parliament, Mr. Alex Katakwe, in which he urged the government to introduce a legal and policy framework to regulate the provision of intraviral fertilization, IVF, and fertility services. And this motion was seconded by Brenda Nyirenda, Member of Parliament for Lundazi, and of course after debate the motion was adopted by the House.
Yes, indeed, and thereafter another private member's motion was considered, and this motion was moved by Mr. Sunday Chanda, that this House urges the government to reform the retirement benefit structure under the National Pension Scheme Authority to allow contributors have the option of accessing lump sum payments upon retirement. This motion was seconded by Muftiria Member of Parliament, Mr. Gordon Miller, and this motion was adopted.
And notice was taken at 17:01 that a quorum had not been formed, and the Honorable Madam First Deputy Speaker did order the bells to be rung and the House counted. A quorum was formed and business of the House resumed. And there was a motion that the members of Parliament continued debating. This is a resumption of debate on the motion of supply of 4th November 2025, moved by the Minister of Finance and National Planning, and this is the motion of supply on the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026, presented to the National Assembly in September 2025. And at the time business was suspended, we had the Member of Parliament from Pongwe, Mr. Ngowane, who was adding his voice to the motion that was being debated. And after the House did adjourn accordingly at 18:28. So that was business of the House yesterday, and just now we have a look at business expected to come for discussion on the floor of the House today, Thursday, 13th November 2025.
Indeed, we do expect some announcements, and we also expect the House to consider some urgent matters without notice, if at all there will be any. We also expect the Minister of Technology and Science to render a ministerial statement, and we expect the House to consider 4 questions for oral answer under Standing Order 80. We also expect the House to consider 1 question for oral answer under Standing Order 81, and thereafter we also expect Mr. Hudson Mabeta to move a motion, adopt report of the Committee on Youth, Sport and Child Matters. And other orders of the day include the Small Claims Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 16 of 2025, to be considered at committee stage. And of course, we do expect resumption of debate on the motion of supply. This is a motion of 4th November 2025. Pauline, we get into the details.
Yes, Taza, we look at the details of the contents of today's order paper, and we start with the ministerial statement that is likely to be rendered by the Minister of Technology and Science, and this is on the installation of communication towers across the country, as well as the prospects of customers roaming from one network to another.
Yes, and thereafter the House will consider 4 questions for answer under Standing Order 80. Question 70 is expected to be asked by Kabwe Central Member of Parliament, Ms. Chrysosta Halwindi, and her question will be directed to the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development. She wants to know in A, whether the government has any plans to reopen the Kabwe zinc mine in Kabwe district, which was closed in 1994. In B, if so, when the mine will be reopened, and in C, if there are no such plans, why?
And question 71 is coming from Petauke Central Member of Parliament, Mr. Simon Banda, and he's directing his question to the Minister of Education. In part A, he wants to know whether government has any plans to promote teachers who have upgraded their professional qualifications, and part B, if so, when the plans will be implemented, and part C, if there are no such plans, why?
And question 72 is expected to come from Mr. Joseph Munsanje, who is in Mbabala Member of Parliament. His question will be directed to the Minister of Fisheries and Livestock. He wants to know in A, what the cattle population in the following chiefdoms in Mbabala Parliamentary Constituency was as of July 2025. Macha Chiefdom, Mapanza Chiefdom. In B, what measures are being taken to control animal disease in Macha Chiefdom and Mapanza Chiefdom. And in C, how many veterinary officers there were in the constituency as of June 2025. And in D, what the recommended ratio of the veterinary officer to number of cattle in the constituency is.
And we have question 73 coming from Kalabo Central Member of Parliament, Mr. Chinga Miyutu, and his question is directed to the Minister of Health. In part A of the question, he wants to know what the major causes of the infant mortality in Zambia are, and part B, what measures are being taken to reduce the mortality rate.
And Pauline, we must make mention that the one question for written answer under Standing Order 81, these answers are provided to the Member of Parliament in written form directly. And so the question is actually from Mr. Chinga Miyutu. This is W1, Kalabo Central Member of Parliament, to the Minister of Finance and National Planning. He wants to know in A, how much revenue the government earned from copper production in Zambia from 2016 to 2024, year by year. And as you can see on your screens, Madam Speaker's procession making its way to the chamber, which signifies the commencement of business. So we take you to the floor of the House. Keep watching Parliament Television.
Honorable Members of Parliament, Madam Speaker. Yeah.
Tendency of Zambia, proud and free, land of wealth and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for our rights. We want freedom's fight, oh, one, strong and free. Africa is our own right. blessed by those two men. Let us all have people join as one, brothers under the sun. Oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky. Like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise be, bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Remain we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia, praise to thee, oh one, strong and free.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to consider with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important responsibilities in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation, in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Only one. It's supposed to be two schools, only one. Emmanuel Adventist School only. The other one I don't have. Oh, okay. Order, honorable members. I have 3 announcements to make. The first announcement, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Emmanuel Adventist Secondary School in Chisamba District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst You are most welcome. You may take your seats. The next announcement, honorable members. I wish to inform the House that the National Assembly of Zambia Gender Subcommittee, comprising selected members of staff, operates a benevolent fund account to which some members of Parliament and staff contribute. These contributions, the National Assembly various items such as food, clothing, and school requirements, among other important items. Honorable members, I wish to invite you to support monthly contributions to the to be deducted through the payroll. Honorable members who are currently contributing are encouraged to increase their contributions and to make them monthly instead of quarterly. The sign-up forms are available and will be distributed to honorable members. I thank you. The next announcement, which is the last one, honorable members, I wish to remind the House that the debate on the motion of supply, which was moved by the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning on Tuesday, 4th November 2025, will be concluded on Wednesday, 19th November 2025. In this regard, members of the backbench will conclude their debate today, Thursday, 13th November 2025, while members of the front bench will be given an opportunity to respond to the various issues raised by the backbench for 3 days from tomorrow, Friday 14th to Wednesday, 19th November 2025. Therefore, all honorable members from the backbench who have not yet debated are encouraged to do so today. I thank you. Urgent matters without notice. The honorable member for Ron.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to raise the urgent matter without notice. Madam Speaker, I am raising this urgent matter without notice with a troubled heart. I am aware that you have actually ruled on several occasions on the matter that I wish to raise, Madam Speaker. But allow me, Madam Speaker, to express myself further. And this matter of this urgent matter without notice is directed to my older brother, Honorable Mtoro Piri. Welcome, sir. Madam Speaker, last week you rose on several points regarding the issue of maize. And I remember raising the same matter as to what is happening to the maize that is lying outside there uncollected. Madam Speaker, God is so gracious. He has given us Urutoshi for this year and the next year. And I believe we should not take lightly the issue of maize. The Honorable Minister came out very clearly and he assured this House, and I agree with him, that they have taken care of all the maize that is outside there and collected. And he assured the House that there are more tarpaulins, enough tarpaulins, that would take care of those maize that will not be collected on time. Just this week, Madam Speaker, there was a video trending where a very big heap of maize was exposed and it was heavily raining. And I'm afraid that maize has gone to waste. Through you, Madam Speaker, I want to find out and to ask the Minister to further assure this House and the nation that we shall not have a lot of maize going to waste, especially what they so-called the discolored maize, or I don't know. Or is the Honorable Minister's office failing to ensure that they send people out there in all areas to ensure that all this maize is taken care of, is covered, until such a point that the maize will be collected from these satellite areas? Madam Speaker, my heart is troubled. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Ron. I know the Minister has been on the floor of this House several occasions, talking about the maize, reassuring the people that the maize is safe. And I know that he's coming back, I think is it tomorrow or on Tuesday, with a ministerial statement as a way of updating on the payment to the farmers. So maybe when he comes, he can also refer to the issue of how the maize has been secured. But honorable members, our standing orders do not allow us to keep talking about the same thing. Repetitions, tedious repetitions are not allowed by our standing orders. I just wanted to see which standing order, but it's there in the standing orders. So please, the Honorable Minister wants to say something now. Although we don't allow, but I will use my discretion since the Honorable Member for Ron is saying his heart is bleeding. Maybe the Honorable Minister can be given an opportunity, but there will be no questions after that.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and indeed, may that bleeding heart be put at peace. Madam Speaker, the stack in question, the incident in question, happened in Mpika. And that is a place where I have personally been. Madam Speaker, accidents do happen. The maize was properly covered just like all other maize in the country. There was heavy rain, which was accompanied by wind, quite strong winds. The tarpaulin was there, but it got blown off. An accident. That is a huge stack indeed, as the Honorable Member of Parliament for Ron has indicated. But may I let him know that that maize, Madam Speaker, there were 700 bags that got affected by the water. Immediately after that incident happened, all those 700 bags were picked, and if you are aware of Mpika, they were taken to the Tazara warehouse, opened and dried. Why would you say the maize got damaged, Honorable Member? Because you haven't seen the maize. We are alarming the nation. Let us be careful here. Accidents do happen. When a plane takes off, no one wants it to crash. But once in a while, it will crash. A tarpaulin was blown off. That is something very, very difficult for me to place a hand. However, Madam Speaker, I have been dealing with maize all my life. In case members here don't know, I have done nothing in my life but agriculture. And I therefore decided to guide my colleagues on how best they can be securing the tarpaulins by putting long logs, trees cut, long logs, and tying the rope seriously on the long log, because the wind would never carry a heavy log. So, Madam Speaker, we care as much as every other citizen in this country that maize should not get soaked. And the maize that was soaked has been dried. And for people's comfort, Madam Speaker, maize can get soaked 1, 2 or so times. It will not go to waste. Be comforted. You have got competence in that direction. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that explanation. I'm sure the honorable members for Ron, his heart is now settled. And I was in Pika, I know it can be very windy there. So maybe that explains why the tarpaulin was blown off. But we are glad that something was done about it. The honorable member for Nalolo.
Madam Speaker, I thank you most sincerely. Madam Speaker, I wish to raise a matter, an urgent matter on the Minister of Health. In the last 24 hours, Madam Speaker, we have seen various pockets of news on the outbreak of cholera in the country. I am aware that yesterday in Monze, 24 cases were recorded and 1 death of a child, and that the Catholic Church issued a letter to ban gatherings of their members. I'm also aware that there was a cholera alert in Choma and in Mpulungu. Madam Speaker, as the rain season intensifies, there is need for the Ministry of Health to give a position on its preparedness in terms of this outbreak. As we have seen numbers escalate in the last 24 hours, and particularly I'm worried for my colleague in Kanyama there, where if as the rains intensify, we will have a crisis. So, Madam Speaker, my matter is based on the need for the Ministry of Health or the Minister of Health to come to this House to inform the nation on the preparedness of government in terms of vaccinations and other responses. You would also like to know, Madam Speaker, that with the power crisis, certain areas in the country have erratic water supply. So there is need for a serious position from government. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Nalolo. In terms of, I think the executive knowing that there is an outbreak of cholera, I think there is well known. We even got messages, I think all of us got messages, or most of us got messages from DMMU giving an alert of cholera. So since your urgent matter without notice is directed on how prepared the ministry is in terms of combating this outbreak, I think we can allow the Honorable Minister when sometime next week, maybe on Wednesday next week, Wednesday or Thursday next week, to come and just brief the House on how prepared the ministry is in terms of how to handle the cholera outbreaks, in terms of vaccinations and all those things. But honorable members, we all know one of the reasons we have outbreaks of cholera is because of the state of the environment where we are living. There is a lot of dirt in our areas, so let's encourage our people to keep their environment clean by ensuring that they get rid of the rubbish, the garbage, and live in clean environment. That will be the major reason why how we can stop the outbreak of cholera. Speaking from as a person coming from the community. So the Honorable Minister of Health will come to the House just to give an update on Thursday next week on how prepared the ministry is in terms of combating the outbreak of cholera. Thank you. We go to the next item. I have permitted the Honorable Minister of Technology and Science to present a ministerial statement. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, I wish to thank you for granting me the opportunity to render a ministerial statement giving an update on the construction of communication towers across the country. Madam Speaker, let me from the outset indicate that this statement is being presented in three parts as follows: the specific case of network challenges in Lumezi parliamentary constituency; 2, the possibility of national roaming; and 3, the status of construction towers countrywide. Madam Speaker, the statement is also in response to a matter raised on Friday, 7th November 2025, by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Lumezi, Mr. Rufeyo Goma, who, on a matter of urgent public importance, expressed concern regarding the status of communication towers in his constituency, and I quote in part, "The network has collapsed in half of my constituency. It has now been a couple of days that the people in Shivanda under Mwenyam Chiefdom and the people of Kazembe under Chitungulu cannot communicate with anyone. There is no network. The network provider is Zamtel. The people in that area are wondering when they will have network. There is a need to restore the network in those chiefdoms. It has been 3 weeks since the network disappeared and they cannot access it." Madam Speaker, the specific challenges in Lumezi constituency. Madam Speaker, I wish to express my sincere compassion to the affected communities of Shivandem under Chief Mwenyam Kingdom, Kazembe, and Chitungulu. Government fully understands the inconvenience and disruption caused by the loss of network services in these areas. This is because communication is a vital lifeline for socio-economic and emergency activities, and no citizen should be disconnected for such an extended period. Madam Speaker, the non-availability of network services in certain parts of Lumezi parliamentary constituency, and indeed other parts of our country, are attributed to a number of interrelated factors, including the following. 1. For a long time, Zambia has relied on hydropower for energy generation. You may recall, Madam Speaker, that Zambia experienced an unprecedented drought in 2023-2024, the first of its kind in recorded history. This resulted in severely low energy output. This has impacted and continues to impact directly the availability of energy to power communication towers. 2. As a consequence, communication towers are either off or not receiving signal feeds from other towers within the network, thereby causing network isolation and loss of activity and loss of active connectivity. This is precisely the case in some parts of Lumezi where towers are operationally disconnected due to power shortages. Madam Speaker, to address these challenges comprehensively, government is working hand in hand with the private sector, will require an investment of approximately $280 million to implement backup and alternative energy solution. These investments will ensure that the communication towers operate optimally and consistently even when power is constrained. The House may wish to note that A, government is working on a financial solution in energy backup system and site upgrades which will result in improved network availability countrywide, including in Lumezi constituency. B, additionally, the private sector has undertaken a proof of concept with 20 towers for a hybrid energy solution such as fuel-generated power blended with renewable energy sources complemented by standby battery system to sustain tower operation in off-grid zones. 2, the possibility of network roaming. I wish to report that a pilot proof of concept on network national roaming is being undertaken. This initiative seeks to enable subscribers from different mobile operators to access network services seamlessly, even in areas where their primary provider has no active coverage. Once a pilot phase is concluded and validated, the framework will be developed to guide nationwide implementation of network national roaming. 3, status of construction of communication towers. Madam Speaker, access to reliable, affordable communication services is a cornerstone of socio-economic development, digital inclusion, national unity. Guided by this principle, the government, through my ministry, in collaboration with ZICTA and other implementing agencies, including cooperating partners, continue to expand national communication infrastructure footprint. This expansion drive is informed by the 2022 Communication Infrastructure Gap Analysis, which identified the need for 998 additional communication towers to ensure adequate coverage across Zambia's dispersed population. Madam Speaker, one of the major constraints in the past has been inadequate financing for tower construction and maintenance. Reliance on the Universal Access and Service Fund alone would have taken us 30 years to achieve full national coverage, given that the fund can only support approximately 30 towers per year. The House may wish to note that the Ministry of Finance has now established a dedicated budget line for construction of towers in the 2026 national budget. This progressive step will now see construction of towers being constructed under one budget line. Madam Speaker, since 2022, a total of 101 towers have been constructed, while a total of 8 remain under construction. Further, government has finalized the procurement of 80 communication towers whose construction will soon commence. Madam Speaker, in addition, under the World Bank-funded Digital Zambia Acceleration Project, a grant has been secured for the construction of 300 new towers nationwide. This initiative will significantly reduce communication black spots and strengthen digital inclusion, particularly in rural communities. Madam Speaker, the private sector, on the other hand, has committed 302 towers, of which 127 have been constructed, while 23 are under construction. The construction of the remaining 152 has also commenced. Madam Speaker, let me end by stating that government remains committed to addressing connectivity challenges by prioritizing alternative power solutions. The government will continue to collaborate with the private sector players, cooperating partners, and local community to accelerate the deployment of communication infrastructure across the country. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the statement. Honorable members are now free to ask questions on points of clarification on the ministerial statement presented by the Honorable Minister of Technology and Science. We start with the Honorable Member for Shiwangando.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to make a follow-up question on the ministerial statement delivered by the Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, I'll take you back to the time you visited Shwangandu in the company of your fellow Honorable Ministers in my constituency, and specifically Mayembe Ward. And during that time, you did commence the construction of one tower, which is yet not completed in Mayembe Ward. And your people have been wondering there whether it was just one way of hoodwinking them as a result of by-elections. May I know why and I'm happy you're consulting correctly, because the Honorable Minister next to you knows the areas very well. So may I know what you intend to do on that tower, and why the other towers like in Mkwikire area are not functioning as required. Yes, we know that the issues of power could be affecting this transmission in terms of network, but these towers haven't been working for a long time. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Shwangandu. And as you rightly pointed out, I was consulting the Honorable neighbor of mine here, who recently, came from Shwangandu. And the latest update is that what is remaining for that tower in Mayembe Ward is only active equipment. The solar infrastructure has been delivered. So your tower will soon be functional. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Mwense.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister, thank you for your statement. I just want to refer to the two measures that you mentioned. Number one, network roaming, as well as the alternative power sources. Now, when you look at the amount of resources or the financing mechanism that is required, is quite substantial. So my question, Madam Speaker, is government and the private sector going to work together to mobilize those resources that are required for network roaming, as well as finding solutions for alternative sources? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, the Honorable Member for Mwense. As a matter of principle, government is working with the private sector, cooperating partners, including the World Bank, to try and deal with the various challenges that we have got around communication tower. In terms of network roaming, which was the first part of your question, what we are doing now is what I refer to as a proof of concept. So we are testing the viability to be able to roam even if you don't belong to a specific network provider. So once that proof of concept is completed, the next phase will be for us to provide guidelines on how the various players in the sector will be able to interact. So that one is actually, active. Yes, we need 280 million to have sustainable energy solution. So what we are doing, first of all, from the government side, is that working with the Ministry of Finance, we are trying to secure funding in order to address the energy component for the telco that is owned by government. And then the private sector are already, as I referred to, working on a hybrid solution to address the power challenges. Already they have done this hybrid solution on 30 towers, and it appears to be working. Now, it will take a bit of time, quite frankly, to be able to address all the communication towers across the country because of the challenges that they are going through. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kwacha.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Minister, for that ministerial statement. Indeed, the issue to do with network challenges in the country is quite rife and does not only involve Lomezi, but is countrywide. And the agents is required in this area, Honorable Minister, to ensure that the country starts getting quality networks. Now, alternatively, Honorable Minister, why can't we look at other alternative areas by bringing in service providers to come and beef up, government or supplement government efforts? We've got other service providers in the world that would actually come and help this government so that these network challenges that we continue to face can be a thing of the past. Because at this age, time and age, we're in a technology age. We shouldn't be talking about network challenges in the manner that we are facing in this country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, indeed we have network challenges. And as I've said in my statement, the primary constraint for network challenges is actually energy to power the communication towers. I was speaking to the Minister of Energy earlier today. At the moment, power availability is ranging between 4 to 5 hours. And therefore, unless we have sufficient power available to the towers, this challenge will continue. Most of the towers, Madam Speaker, have got what we call backup generators in the event that power goes. But these backup generators were designed to work up to a maximum of 4 hours. Now, 3 from ZESCO, 4 from backup, the balance is huge. And that is why we are coming up with appropriate solution to address the primary cause, which is energy. Yes, we can bring in other operators to enter the market. But unless we address the energy issue, there is no motivation for anybody else to come and begin to invest when they know that they are going to be lumbered with the issue of energy. So that option will come not now, but much later. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Momba.
Momba, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honourable Minister, as we are talking about going forward, the plans to construct new towers, you are aware that there are some towers which were supposed to be done a year ago, and then the contractors abandoned their works. I have one in Momba constituency in Chief Jona. Equipment has been lying there for almost more than 1 year, and I've been to your office about it. I just wanted to find out how long does it take to engage in new contractors so that these works are done? Because once that is done, then it reduces some of these challenges which we are facing. So how long does it take for new contractors to be brought on board so that they can finish these works? Madam Speaker, thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you for that question from the Honorable Member of Parliament for Momba. Madam Speaker, in an attempt to ensure that our people take part, particularly in the construction of towers. When we tendered for the construction of towers, a number of Zambian companies responded, and responded with very aggressive and viable solution. And therefore we were persuaded that these contracts be given to our colleagues, Zambian contractors, who were paid the 25% advance to begin the work. Madam Speaker, literally 100% of our colleagues, Zambian contractors, have failed to execute the contracts. And these contracts have since been terminated, and we are proceeding on recovery of the advance. The contracts have since been re-advertised to begin to do the work. So that is the hiccup, particularly in Momba, that we faced. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Pemba.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Minister for the tower constructed at Ndondi Secondary School, though the coverage, Honorable Minister, is something that still need to be looked at. There's a lot of complaints from the community that it doesn't have the wider coverage. The provider at that place is MTN. My substantive question, however, Madam Speaker, is you talked of we now have a budget line for construction of these towers. I would like to know whether at some point you are going to share which areas are going to be covered with this budget line for the construction of the towers. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you. I think there were two parts to the question. One regarding coverage. The average coverage of a tower is between 5 to 10 kilometers, depending on the geography. So sometimes people that are outside this radius may see the tower, but then the signal may not be able to reach. The maximum is certainly 8 up to 10. And the issue of the budget line that has been introduced. This is the first time, Madam Speaker, that we have introduced a budget line in the budget for the construction of towers. And I want to thank the Minister of Finance. So as soon as the budget is approved, the process of expending that money will go. But in addition, Madam Speaker, I have indicated that the Minister of Finance has secured a grant from the World Bank, again for the first time, to be able to deliver 300 communication towers. This grant has been approved by the World Bank, and we shall be sharing the list of where the towers will be planted, courtesy of the World Bank, and including those that are provided on the budget line. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Maybe if we can tone down on the consultations, they are too loud. The Honorable Member for Bwana Mukubwa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Minister of Technology, for the answers you are providing. Minister, perhaps I just wanted to find out, you've alluded to the fact that you are looking at 200 million plus in terms of you to provide the smart energy solution to some of these towers, like towers for the people of Lumezi. Minister, I wanted to find out if you've done your minister has done a cost-benefit analysis, because some of these towers are social and commercial towers. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, all the prudent analysis has been done. And indeed, correctly, most of the towers are actually rural towers that are affected by this. And most of these towers, rural towers, you see, they are predominantly government-driven towers. And for us to be able to address 100% of those would take us a bit of time. So that's why we are saying that the funds that we have secured from the World Bank, we shall have to plant towers, in some cases only address active equipment and other enabling infrastructure to be able to achieve connectivity. So the first goal is the grant that we have got from the World Bank to support us on the 300 towers, to create a hybrid solution to ensure connectivity, particularly in the rural areas. In addition, Madam Speaker, one of the private sector companies, for the first time, have committed and have started constructing 152 communication towers in the rural areas. So we think that combination of World Bank, the private sector, should be able not to eliminate the problem, but at least to reduce it to manageable levels. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Lubasenshi.
Madam Speaker, we are delighted as people of Lubasenshi for the assurance that the Minister is providing. And just for a second, Madam Speaker, the Minister managed to send the people to Lubasenshi to identify where network tower is going to be elected. And for all information, Madam Speaker, Luwingu District, where the DC's office and where we have a problem like Chulungoma ward, is less than 80 kilometers. And there is existing tower, and people are saying, why can't we just utilize this existing tower so that we can be able to save them resources? But the people of Lubasenshi are very much patient, in the sense that you have said 280 million is the money that is required to do the installation of network towers almost countrywide. Then you have also assured us that there is 300 million kwacha from World Bank. The people of Lubasenshi, the people of Chulungoma, under Lubasenshi Constituency Luwingu District would like to find out from you, Honorable Minister, could you kindly assure them that come 2026, the people of Lubasenshi in Chulungoma ward are going to be connected with your information that you have provided to this August House? I submit to Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just for clarity, it's not $300 million, it's 300 towers. These are two different numbers. I thought the Honorable Member of Lubasenshi would have started by saying thank you for the tower that we planted and it's actually working. So you begin by thanking and say, can you add one more? And that is the way that we should proceed. Madam Speaker, we were going to attend to you just like we attended to you. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. He's saying yakari. That means it's old. Even if it's old, you say thank you. At least. The Honorable Member for Luena.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, the people of Luena are saying thank you for the tower in Nangula Ward. It's a Zamteo tower, and they are excited. And equally, our people in Stoya Ward, Ndanda Ward, and Maviri Ward are also looking forward to benefiting from the planting of towers that's yet to come. Now, the question I have is in relation to national roaming that you referred to in your statement. Whilst we are waiting for the framework for national roaming to be put in place. Is your ministry encouraging these mobile network providers to mount their equipment on existing towers so that all the major networks can be available to our people? In this regard, the people of Nangula Ward are asking whether Airtel and MTN will also put their equipment on the tower that has recently been planted there so that they can continue accessing services on those networks as well. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The people of Nangula Ward, obviously, thank you for acknowledging that. And rightly put, the Honorable MP for Luena, what we have done is called co-location. And co-location, Madam Speaker, is using the passive equipment which may belong to a particular network operator, and the other operator will co-locate their active equipment on the passive equipment. So we encourage Airtel and MTN to use the Zamtel structure to co-locate in Luena. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and the Minister, thank you for that elaborate ministerial statement on towers. I remember very well that you circulated a form for all members of Parliament to fill in, including the coordinates on where they wish towers to be located. In this case, for Kaumbwe, we filled in that form, and Zikta came to our constituencies, and they even left pegs as to where they intend to locate the communication towers, such as in Lusinde Ward, at Katarawuchi, in Manyane Ward, in Chizanda, 3-4 places they have pegs even up to date. My question is, from these resources that you have announced, like a grant from the World Bank and also a budget line, also including the private players, is Kaumbwe going to receive a communication tower as per the submission that we made to your ministry? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me just also acknowledge the effort that the Honourable Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe is making in securing investment for the country in general terms. Congratulations. Madam Speaker, the reason we're taking the coordinates was as part of our preparatory work for the World Bank grant for the 300 towers, so that when that grant lands, we can start the implementation process. Now, if you ask me where and how many towers are going to be planted in Kaumbwe, as I stand, I can't tell you. We are going to circulate the list, particularly for the World Bank, for you to see. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Nyimba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, my heart also breathes just like the Member of Parliament for Lon. Minister, I've heard a good number of parliamentarians here praising you how well you are doing their constituencies in terms of construction of towers, and others towers are up and running. When it comes to Nyimba, Minister, you and I know how deprived the constituency is. And for the last 4 years, Minister, we haven't done anything in terms of tower construction. And the last pegging, I think, was done 3 months ago, where we were told within 2 weeks, one tower will be constructed in Nyimba, the biggest constituency in the Eastern Province. By the way, one tower, the smallest, some of the smallest constituencies, which like a ward in my constituency, with more population in Nyimba as Mpondwe, Mtilizi, Katipa, and Chifukuzi, they are bigger than 2 constituencies, some of the constituencies here. And there is no communication. In terms of population, there are many. Minister, the people of Nyimba are asking, when are we part of the 80 towers which the procurement has been completed? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Don't cry. Don't cry, you're a strong man. And we are going to attend to you. As I stand, Madam Speaker, I know that we have secured 80 towers and they have been advertised and awarded. But whether specifically Nyimba is on that list, I can't tell you as I stand. The only thing which I can ask is, Honorable, as the Speaker always says, why don't you come and have a cup of tea? Then we can go and look at the list. I thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Solwezi East.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Minister, about 2 years ago, or plus, you commissioned the Misangwa Tower in His Royal Highness Chief Mjimanzovo's chiefdom in Mushindamo. Later on, that tower construction stalled, and I only came to learn about it through your team that appeared before one of our committees, that the local contractor actually failed to complete that job. And today you have said the works have been re-advertised. I want to find out from you, is the Misangwa Tower one of those whose contracts has been re-advertised, and when is it going to be completed and operationalized? Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, the only thing which I'll say is that all the contracts that were cancelled and re-advertised are going to do the same towers that were in the contracts that were cancelled. So specifically for Mushindamo, I would confidently say it is one of the towers that will be attended to. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Mwembeji. The Honorable Member for Mwembeji. The Honorable Member for Chipiri.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, you are a good speaker, presenter, but I don't know the other part, whether you are a good implementer. Could you rate yourself as a minister based on your statement? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Member was anxious to ask a question. I didn't know it was that. Stop the clock. What's the point of order, Honorable Member for Zambezi East?
Madam Speaker, our standing orders do not allow ourselves to debate ourselves. Is the Honorable Member from DRC in order to move in that trajectory against my honorable elder brother here? I need your serious ruling, Madam Speaker.
There is no point of order on another point of order. Let's make progress. The Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Science will be able to respond to the Honorable Member for Chipi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I admire the courage of the Honorable Member for Chipili, and I also admire his style. I also admire his dressing and and further admire that he remains awake during the sessions, you know. And for that, Honorable Member for Chipili, who support your dressing with the tower, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Lumezi, since he was the one who initiated.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for according me a chance to add a word from the people of Lumezi. Madam Speaker, thank you very much. The mover of the motion last Tuesday, Madam Speaker, the people of Lumezi have a different challenge altogether with regards to network communication in my constituents. I've heard from members of parliament of similar situations, but I want to take Lumezi with a particular situation. In Lumezi, Madam Speaker, the network collapsed half of the chiefdom, half of the constituents. I meant Chief Mwanya, Chief Chitungulu, Chief Kazembe. The people there cannot access, they cannot communicate to anyone else. And the challenge, the worst challenge is, even to call for an ambulance for any emergency becomes difficult. And also, as you are aware what our government is doing, a lot of things that are coming through mobile in terms of cash for work, social cash transfer, and many other things. And as people, old people receive cash for work, sometimes it's difficult for them to notice that money has come in their phones because there's no network. And as well as they complete to do cash for work, they may not see that the money has actually been sent to their phones. Madam Speaker, it's a serious challenge, and I would urge the Minister of Science and Technology maybe to take a survey and see what is happening in Lumezi. Not only that, also, Madam Speaker, on the other side of the constituents, may I say the Plateau area, where we have 3 chiefdoms, Chiefness Masempangwe, Chief Chikomeni, Chief Zumwanda. If you go to pay courtesy call to Chiefness Zumwanda, you are assured to have no network. You cannot communicate to anyone. And the people living around Chiefness Masempangwe are highly affected and they cannot communicate to anyone. You have to walk distance for you to get a network. As well as you visit Chief Chikomeni, you are assured to have no network. My question is, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, when are you assuring the people of Lumezi? I know in the previous past there was no one brought this matter to this House for your attention, and that those 80 towers that you have earmarked to distribute across the country, may Lumezi be added to that?
Thank you, Honorable Member. You are now debating the question.
Thank you,
Ask
Madam.
your question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The question is, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, are you assuring the people of Lumezi of the stable network in moving forward? Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Lumezi indeed has a bit of a unique problem, and it's mainly centered not in availability of physical towers, but the energy deficit. So you find that a relay from one tower to the next, if the next tower is off, then the third tower will also not be able to be functional. So that is the unique problem that we have got in Lumezi, having spots of towers which are off, and then the rest cannot be able to communicate. And it is a unique problem that we are trying to attend to, Madam Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you. That concludes that segment. The next one, questions for oral answer, understanding order 80. The Honorable Member for Kabwe Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Question 70.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Kabwe Central wants to ask the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development whether government has any plans to reopen the Kabwe zinc mine in Kabwe district, which was closed in 1994. And if so, when the mine will be reopened, and if there are no such plans, why? Government's response is as follows. Madam Speaker, government has no plans to reopen the Kabwe zinc mine, which ceased operations in 1994. B, there are no current plans to reopen the mine. C, Madam Speaker, at present government does not have plans to reopen the Kabwe zinc mine because of the following. One, there are outstanding environmental and public health concerns in Kabwe, which must be adequately addressed as a prerequisite to any new mining operations. Two, the mine's infrastructure and ore body require substantial new investment and modern technologies to render it economically viable under current market conditions. Number three, government's current policy direction is to create an enabling environment for credible private investment and public-private partnership rather than running the mine operation directly. Madam Speaker, as such, through the Zambia Development Agency and the Ministry of Mines, we continue to market the Kabwe resource to potential investors, and we remain open to proposals from the private sector to redevelop the mine in a manner that meets modern environmental, health, and safety standards and brings tangible benefits to the local community. I submit.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions? The Honorable Member for Kabwe Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. First of all, I just want to thank also the government, your ministry, Honorable Minister, for remedial works lead contamination in Kabwe. I wish we can have another phase, because really we still need more households to benefit, especially from paving. You have mentioned that you have no plans because of underlying environmental issues. Apart from the lead poisoning, you would be able to tell people of Kabwe Central other environmental issues that will not lead the government to reopen the Kabwe mine. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member, for that question. Madam Speaker, the issue of lead poisoning in Kabwe is actually quite a serious matter that government has been dealing with for quite a long time, and these are issues that government has engaged even through the cooperating partners. We had a program which we are calling remediation program, ZIMRIP. That is what was cleaning Kabwe so that people are free from lead poisoning. As it stands now, that program was stopped because I think financing came to an end. However, government has continued the programs and processes of cleaning up Kabwe of lead poisoning, which resulted during the operations of that zinc mine. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kamfisa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister of Mines, would you enlighten us, and probably for the benefit of the people of Kabwe, what could be the reason from your assessment why we've not been able to attract an equity partner? Is it that the resource is not adequate? Is it not worth investing in? Is it that the grade of zinc is very poor to the extent that we are not able to utilize that resource, Madam Speaker, which is in Kabwe? Minister, maybe you can help this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Very important question, and thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, indeed. What has made it difficult during the marketing of this resource is actually the way the ore body is structured. So it needs certain technologies to be able to mine it as it stands right now. But we've continued through ZDA to market that zinc mine, and probably if the zinc prices are attractive, potential investors would come and employ new technologies that will make them mine the zinc. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kabwe Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, I just want to find out, some time back, people would say Kabwe is a sinking town because of the underground water from the same mine. Would you be able to enlighten us that is there any danger that maybe people of Kabwe would face if the mine is not reopened and the water, because there's too much water underground there? Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member. Madam Speaker, I think that, well, Kabwe is safe in terms of what the Honorable Member has alluded to. It's not actually sinking. The only issues were the issues of pollution, which government has been very, very active, in terms of dealing with it through the program that I mentioned. So, through you, Honorable Member, I want to assure the people of Kabwe that the town is not sinking. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Lubaseshe.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. Honorable Minister, my understanding of this question is Honorable Member of Parliament for Kabwe Central. Maybe she's trying to find out how best this zinc mine can be able to create jobs in Kabwe, especially for our people there. Now, since the government has no plans to reopen that zinc mine, maybe are able to share maybe if there are other alternatives, like maybe government has pursued maybe to open a copper mine, not zinc mine as per se, but other alternative, so that maybe the Member of Parliament can be comforted to say, okay, there is this alternative mine that is coming up. Do you have such plans, Honorable Minister? Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Mines and Minerals Development.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lwansenshi, and thank you, Madam Speaker. Just from the zinc mine itself, Honorable Member, we have said that we have not given up. We are still marketing that place in terms of the zinc mine itself, so that those that may have technologies and interest in mining zinc will be able to come through and partner with government. However, we are doing a countrywide high-resolution geophysical survey, and Kabwe is part of that, and Kabwe is a mining town. So probably with what we are doing in the mapping, we may just find that there are other endowments. You realize that Kabwe is within Central Province, which is endowed with a lot of gold, copper, and other minerals. So we may just discover that there are other minerals that are within Kabwe when our survey is done. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The next question, the Honorable Member for Petauke Central.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much for continually affording so many opportunities to the wonderful people of Petauke Central for their concerns to be heard in this August House. Question number 71. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Education.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. S. Banda of Petauke Central asks the Minister of Education, whether government has any plans to promote teachers who have upgraded the professional qualifications? B, if so, when the plans will be implemented? And C, if there are no such plans, why? Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that A, the government does have plans to promote teachers who have upgraded their professional qualifications. B, the House may wish to note that the government has been progressively upgrading the salary skills of teachers and promoting those who meet the established criteria. This is an ongoing process guided by the terms and conditions of service for the public service number 23A1, which provide that promotions in the public service shall be effected by the Service Commission or the responsible officer, as the case may be, whenever vacancies will occur, taking into account qualifications, competences, experience, good conduct, and performance. However, the process is gradual as it depends on the availability of vacant and funded positions within the establishment. The Ministry remains committed to ensuring that qualified teachers are recognized and promoted accordingly as resources and vacancies allow. And C, in view of the response given in Part B, Part C of the question falls off. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Petauke Central.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for your clarifications. How does the ministry ensure fairness and consistency in promoting teachers with higher qualifications across all the provinces? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister for Education.
Madam Speaker, I said we are guided by the terms and conditions of service for the public service, number 23A1, which provides that promotions in the public service shall be effected by the Service Commission or the responsible officer, as the case may be, whenever vacancies occur, taking into account qualifications, competences, good conduct, and performance. That's what guides us.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chieng.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, we have thousands of teachers we've upgraded from certificate to diploma to degrees. Madam Speaker, I would like to find out if the ministry is aware of the numbers of those we've upgraded and which steps is the government going to take, because there are just so many. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister for Education.
Madam Speaker, as I said earlier, that the process is gradual. We know the backlog is quite huge, but off cuff here I can't really tell exactly how many were upgraded because it is gradual, and determining on how the vacancies are created and the resources available. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kamfisa.
Thank you once again, Madam Speaker. Minister of Education, in your statement you've indicated the criteria which the ministry utilizes to identify those that merit promotion. And obviously, Madam Speaker, when you promote someone, it means that their salary scale will also change. Are you in a position, Minister, to indicate to this August House and as well as for the benefit of the teachers themselves, if funds are available to actually cater for that number that you normally target? Because obviously you have a plan. It can't be everyone who has upgraded their qualifications who's immediately promoted. So are you able to confirm if there's a plan which matches the availability of the resources for you to be able to assure people that actually when you upgrade, you'll be promoted? Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Education.
Yes, Madam Speaker, we have plans every year to upgrade teachers. Like I said, the backlog was quite huge. So very few with the numbers are upgraded. And now what we have done is first in, first out, depending on the qualification itself, competences, and good conduct. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Lukasha.
I thank you, Madam Speaker, also for the opportunity to ask the Minister a follow-up question. Minister, you spoke of the criteria that is going to be utilized and also appreciated the backlog that has accumulated because of the slowness of the pace at which upgrades are being done. I just want to find out what exact process are you going to utilize to effect the upgrades? Is it going to be on the basis of first-come basis or on the basis of qualifications, how somebody upgraded themselves? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Education.
Madam Speaker, I've just answered that question. You didn't hear. I said the backlog is quite huge. So what we do now is first in, first out, depending on the qualification itself. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chinsali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, thank you for the responses that you have given. I think the reason why we are discussing these issues of promotions, it is because the teachers expect that when they are promoted, there will be an additional pay. Now, I received an issue from the members of my constituents where they said that, you know, there are some teachers who have already upgraded their qualifications, then, and they have been working for some time. Then there are new teachers who have come with similar qualifications, but they have been employed after those old teachers. So the new teachers who have come with the similar qualifications with the old teachers, they have been given a higher salary than those who have been serving. Those who have been serving and they have the similar qualifications. So how does the ministry reconcile those two positions so that those old teachers who were employed on you know, with the lower qualifications but have upgraded, so that they are not discouraged and demotivated? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Education.
Madam Speaker, we are doing that because those who are new, it's first entry. If you have got a degree, we cannot put you on a diploma in order for you not to earn. All right? Because that way, again, we shall have another backlog. So rather just get them. If you are going to go in K because you are just from the college or a university, we put you there so that we lessen the backlog. You are right indeed. It is disheartening to see people who have upgraded and then they are not there. I can tell you how much money is required if we had today to say that, can all of them be upgraded without graduate? The means of finance would need to give me 4 billion kwacha, and it is not there. What is there, what we are trying to do, is to cut the number. They must be few. But I agree with you. And some of the teachers, to tell the truth, they used to get loans in order to go to school. But then you get a loan and then you qualify and then you are still put on a lower scale. But to cut this, we are trying to do an analysis where I have appointed, Madam Speaker, a team to look into this issue so that, because it will not finish. People are upgrading themselves. So if, for example, you upgrade yourself, you are a primary school teacher, and then you go to secondary school. If you have a degree, for example, I'm just giving it as an example. You have a degree at primary. You have a degree at secondary. Why shouldn't you get the same amount? So we are looking into all these permutations. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Shangombo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I appreciate the response by the Minister of Education. That's how things are supposed to be. But bringing Shangombo in the picture, when there are openings, say for promotions, you'll find that, say, for example, a DEPS, a DESO, some secondary school headmasters when they retire, instead of promoting those who are maybe deputies in the district, whether it's a province or here at the national level, they promote teachers from different districts to go and head schools and the administration deputy office in Shangom. So what really is happening, Honorable Minister? If you have no response, I'm sure I can bring that data to your office so that maybe we find out as to why, because your response is how things are supposed to happen. So what really is happening? And how can you help the people of Shangombo, the teachers who have forgotten themselves? Because when it comes to jets, Shangombo beats the province in Western Province, meaning the teachers are performing well. Even at national level here, pupils come from Shangombo to represent the province. So why are teachers, say from Shangombo, not being promoted or upgraded to their standards? Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Education.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I think I need to get hold of the Teaching Service Commission to bring this to their attention. But strictly speaking, my nephew, if people have qualifications and they have all these criteria that I have put here, they are required to be promoted within that district or that constituency. So we'll take care of that. We'll sit down with the Teaching Service Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Chipili.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, I sympathize with you, with your ministry, because there are so many teachers who are upgrading from diploma, degree, others, masters. Now looking at that, and everyone wants to be upgraded. Could you think another way of issuing certain instrument to state that when you upgrade, it is not automatic that you'll be upgraded. You have to wait for space. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable, thank you. The Honorable Minister of Education.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We don't necessarily need an SI. Many teachers actually know that we require space. When the vacancy goes, then some are actually promoted or they are upgraded. So teachers know that. Thank you.
The last question will be from the Honorable Member for Muchinga.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and thank you so much, Honorable Minister of Education. Honorable Minister of Education, you have spoken of vacancies. Now, where I come from, I have got a situation. I don't know if you answered this one, but I didn't hear the answer. You know, we have seen these vacancies. For example, there is a headmaster at a secondary school, he retires. Someone comes in as acting head. Already there is a vacancy. And then you find that the person who comes in as acting is going to act maybe for 5 years and not going to be upgraded or promoted. When promotion comes, someone from somewhere else comes to be promoted. And this goes to even the HODs, head of departments. We will have HODs in most secondary schools in Muchinga, if not all. I went through. All of the HODs are in acting capacities. 3, 4 years, that is the same with administrators, headmasters. Now, these vacancies that are created, when, for example, the administrator of today, who has got a PEMIC ID, whatever you call it, retires, where do you take them? That people should remain in acting for years. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Education.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think your question is similar to what the MP for Shangombo stated. So I will have to deal with the Teaching Service Commission to look into that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Since we are on live TV, the Honorable Member for Luvansesh appears to have received some question. That's why he wanted to. So I'll give him an opportunity. The Honorable Member for Luvansesh.
Thank you so much, Madam, for that kindness. The people of Rubansenshi, just a few teachers have asked from Luwing district to say it's a government policy that we are going to phase out certificates. And now when it comes to give positions such as the ed teachers, for instance, all of them, they have maybe masters. Which criteria that the government is now to use to put someone as an ed teacher, knowing fully that you have same qualifications? This is a question, Madam, that is coming from our people. I submit, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Education.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think in my statement, I did say that the process is guided by the terms and conditions of service for the public service circular number 23A1, which provides, and I quote, promotions in the public service shall be effected by the service commission or the responsible officer, as the case may be, whenever vacancies occur, taking into account qualifications, competences, experience, and good conduct, and also performance. That's the criteria. And that is what guides the Teaching Service Commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For your good question.
Next question, the Honorable Member for Mbabala.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 72.
The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Dr. Munsanje, Mbabala constituency, to ask the Minister of Fisheries and Livestock 4 questions. A, what the cattle population in the following chiefdoms in Mbabala parliamentary constituency was as of July 2025? Macha chiefdom and Mapanza chiefdom. B, what measures are being taken to control animal diseases in the chiefdoms above? C, how many veterinary officers they were in the constituency as of June 2025? And D, what the recommended ratio of the veterinary officer to the number of cattle in a constituency is? Madam Speaker, our response is as follows. To A, according to the Ministry's administrative records collected in July 2025, the total cattle population in Macha and Mapanza chiefdoms was estimated at over 55,000 within the constituency. Specifically, the distribution is as follows. For Macha chiefdom, the chiefdom has 4 veterinary camps with an estimated cattle population of 19,000 across these camps. For Mapanza, the chiefdom has 5 veterinary camps with an estimated cattle populations of over 36,000 heads of cattle. Answer to question B, a number of measures are being implemented to control animal diseases in the district. These include the deployment of animal health extension officers who train farmers in good husbandry practices and in the prevention and control of animal diseases. The extension officers provide training to farmers on the following 6 areas. 1, tick control through spraying and dipping. Farmers are being sensitized on the importance of regular and effective tick control through the use of acaricides, which are deep chemicals. Emphasis is placed on proper spraying techniques and the adoption of communal or mobile dipping facilities to minimize the spread of tick-borne diseases such as corridor disease and anaplasmosis. 2, vaccination campaigns. Targeted vaccination campaigns are being implemented to prevent further livestock diseases, including foot and mouth. In addition, farmers are receiving support from field staff to carry out vaccinations against management-related diseases such as black water and hemorrhagic septicemia. 3, immunization of calves against East Coast fever. Madam Speaker, calves are being immunized against ECF using a cost-sharing model where government bears some of the cost and the farmer also contributes towards the immunization. The ECF immunization uses the infection and treatment method. This is crucial in reducing calf mortality and ensuring herd sustainability. 4. Deworming. Regular deworming schedules are being encouraged to control internal parasites, which can severely affect animal growth, reproduction, and milk production. Farmers are guided on appropriate deworming intervals and products available. 5. Biosecurity measures. Farmers are being trained on basic biosecurity practices such as isolating new or sick animals, disinfecting equipment and housing, and controlling access to livestock areas. These practices help prevent the introduction and spread of infectious diseases. 6. Livestock movement controls. Government movement of animals is being regulated to prevent the spread of contagious diseases. Farmers are being sensitized on the importance of obtaining movement permits and adhering to quarantine regulations. Madam Speaker, answer to question C. As of June 2025, the constituency had a total of 9 veterinary camps distributed as follows: 4 camps in Chief Masha and 5 camps in Chief Mapanza. Of the 9 veterinary camps, 5 are manned and the veterinary officers are serving in the areas. Answer to question D. Madam Speaker, the government is committed to strengthening veterinary service delivery across 2 chiefdoms and addressing current staffing gaps. To this end, efforts are underway to recruit and deploy additional veterinary officers to ensure full operational capacity in all veterinary camps. This initiative will enhance animal health, disease surveillance, and livestock productivity. My ministry aims to maintain a recommended ratio of 1 veterinary officer to every 400 farmers, ensuring accessible and effective service for livestock farmers. To improve this ratio from the current ratio of 1 veterinary officer to every 1,200 farmers, my ministry is actively pursuing Treasury Authority for the recruitment of 300 extension officers in 2025. These officers will fill gaps in unmanned veterinary camps and improve service coverage. In addition, my ministry is in the process of demarcating veterinary camps to align them with ward boundaries, thereby reducing coverage areas and improving efficiency in service delivery. Madam Speaker, thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Bavala.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for the comprehensive response to the people of Mbabara. The people of Mbabara are lying on the animal value chain in Namara, where export of beef has begun to the DRC. As such, the people of Mbabara would like to participate in that value chain. Therefore, Honorable Minister, what measures are you putting in terms of the dates to have the vet extension officers in place in the other 4 camps so that we can manage animal diseases? Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
Madam Speaker, I think the Honorable Member of Parliament did not get me when I said my ministry is seeking Treasury Authority for the recruitment of 300 extension officers this year. I submit.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Shangombo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to thank the Honorable Minister for that good response. But I wanted to find out if he has plans to construct housing and also provide maybe motorbikes for these veterinary staff, because some of us where we come from, it will be difficult for them to find accommodation to rent in our rural wards. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much, Honorable, for that question. Madam Speaker, we try very hard to match the recruitment of staff with staff accommodation as submitted.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Dundumwezi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Member for Shango actually posed two questions, and allow me to ask the question that the Minister has not responded to. For veterinary officers to work effectively, they need transport. Confirm to me and the people of Mbabala that all the 9 officers have transport and they are all domiciled in Mbabala constituency. Thank you so very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
Madam Speaker, that's a very loaded question. All I can say is that looking at the current situation in which we find ourselves in as a ministry, transport is one of the major challenges that we are facing, but we are addressing this as the resource envelope allows. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kankoyo.
I thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, considering the price of beef, which is at $9 per kg, or maybe $9,000 per ton, and the potential in it where the government wants to earn $1 billion by 2028, I just want to appeal to the Minister of Finance that Treasury Authority maybe should be expedited so that the 300 veterinary officers are employed to invest in this sector, which can give us more money with less investment. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
I think the answer to that, Madam Speaker, was directed to the Minister of Finance to give us more money so that we can ramp up the export of beef through more money allocated to my ministry. Thank you.
Thank you. An appeal for more money, Minister of Finance and National Planning. The Honorable Member from Mbabala.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for the various responses. Is your ministry, therefore, in line with this value chain which I talked about, which we thank His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema for leading towards that $1 million beef return for Zambia? Is your ministry considering rehabilitating deep tanks to manage animal diseases in Mbabala constituency in all the chiefdoms of Mapanza and Macha? I ask Honorable Minister.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Fisheries and Livestock.
Madam Speaker, ideally that is a good idea. However, functions of veterinary services have devolved to the local authorities. So the issue of rehabilitation and construction of deep tanks should fall under each particular district affected. Submit.
Thank you very much. Next question, the Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 73.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Mayuk to Kalabo Central would like to find out from the Minister of Health in A, what the major causes of infant mortality in Zambia are, and in B, what measures are being taken to reduce the mortality rate. Madam Speaker, infant mortality rate refers to the number of deaths of infants under 1 year of age per 1,000 live births in a given year. It is a vital indicator of a nation's health status, reflecting the effectiveness of healthcare services, sanitation, nutrition, and broader socioeconomic conditions. The major causes of death before a child's first birth in Zambia historically have been driven by 1. Neonatal conditions, which include preterm birth complications, birth delayed breathing of the baby, and trauma, and also neonatal infections. 2. Infectious diseases such as malaria, pneumonia, diarrhea diseases, and HIV/AIDS. 3. Nutrition contributes to over half of child deaths, weakens also immunity, and increases vulnerability to disease. In B, Madam Speaker, looking at the trends from 1992 on the Zambia's IMR journey, data from the Zambia Demographic and Health Surveys reveals a dramatic transformation in infant survival over the past 3 decades. In 1992 to 1996, it was marked by stagnation and slight increase. IMR rose from 107 to 109 deaths per 1,000 live births. This period was marked by economic hardships and the peak of the HIV crisis, which overwhelmed the health system. In 2001 to 2007, this marked a turning point where IMR dropped from 95 to 70% per 1,000 live births, reflecting the impact of intensified health interventions and global support from maternal and child health. The period 2007 to 2024 has been marked by rapid and sustained decline. Madam Speaker, IMR fell from 70 to 42 deaths per 1,000 live births in 2018 and 29 deaths per 1,000 live births in 2024. This demonstrates consistent progress through targeted evidence-based strategies. Overall, Zambia has achieved a 72% reduction in infant mortality since 1992. Remarkable public health achievements. Madam Speaker, the drivers attributed to the decline in infant and child mortality rate is the result of strategic interventions which include 1. Public health campaigns which focus on HIV prevention through programs like prevention of mother-to-child transmission and HIV therapy. The rate of infant HIV infections has seen a dramatic decline. Malaria control, the widespread use of insecticide-treated nets, indoor residue spraying, and access to effective treatment have significantly reduced malaria-related deaths. Immunization. By expanding vaccine coverage, health authorities have successfully prevented numerous deadly childhood diseases, safeguarding the health of millions of children. 2. Maternal and newborn care. Madam Speaker, skilled birth attendants. More mothers are now supported by trained health professionals during childbirth, reducing complications and improving outcomes for both mothers and babies. Enhanced antenatal and postnatal care. Expectant and new mothers are receiving better medical attention before and after delivery, ensuring healthier pregnancies and safer recoveries. Prematurity accounts for 20% of all infant mortalities. The Ministry of Health is working to ensure that all Level 2 hospitals and higher have functional neonatal intensive care units, and all Level 1 hospitals, including mini hospitals, have functional on-site and satellite kangaroo mother care rooms. Training of specialized nurses and practitioners, such as HIV nurse practitioners, pediatric nurses, neonatal nurses. In its recent recruitment exercise, the Ministry of Health deployed 595 midwives, the highest number of this cadre deployed in one recruitment exercise so far, as we continue to close the skills gap in the quality of care during the post-childbirth. 3, Madam Speaker, socio-economic improvements have laid a strong foundation for better public health and community development. Key advancements include: A, greater female education. More girls and women are gaining access to education, empowering them to make informed health decisions and contribute meaningfully to society. B, economic growth and health investment. Rising economic stability has enabled government and organizations to invest more in the health sector, improving infrastructure access and quality of care. C, water, sanitation, and hygiene advancements. Gradual improvements in water, sanitation, and hygiene have reduced disease transmission and enhanced overall well-being, especially in underserved communities. Other measures, Madam Speaker, include biannual Child Health Week campaigns. Child Health Week is an opportunity for the Ministry to reach many children as possible with high-impact child health and nutrition interventions in order to promote health, assure child survival. Zambia's reduction in infant mortality from 107 to 29 deaths per 1,000 live births is a testament to the power of coordinated public health action. It reflects a shift from crisis of resilience and from vulnerability to hope. Sustaining this momentum will require continued investment, innovation, and inclusive health strategies to ensure that every child born in Zambia has the opportunity to survive and thrive. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for a comprehensive response. However, Honorable Minister, I don't know if it is possible that between the urban and the rural, are you able to give indications as to which side has shown more improvement in terms of reduction? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Madam Speaker, I appreciate that question, but that is statistical. We need to look at the data that is collected from the field for me to be exacting what I want. But the health reaching or treatment is covered overall in the whole country. We are reaching every corner, every clinic. The treatment is the same, except in certain places where we haven't got enough staffing. But with whatever is happening now, I think the situation is improving. We're at 200 and something, now we're at 187. We are striving to come below 100. All these are signs of improvement, but we are targeting mostly rural areas. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Kavwata.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, information is critical to every human being. If you look at the mortality dates, actually, they fall under the age group, especially for teenagers. Most of the kids that are falling pregnant early are the ones that are actually affected, and those that are above 45. Now, I wanted to find out if your ministry has actually designed a program of sensitization, especially on the teens that are busy thinking of becoming parents before their time. Is it possible if you could share a program that is sensitizing the teenagers?
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Health.
A quick answer is yes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Ron.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to ask a follow-up question. Madam Speaker, IMR cuts across the globe. It's a challenge that is, even in developed countries, like in 2022, United States reported an infant mortality rate of 5.50 in every 1,000 live births. Madam Speaker, I've heard the Minister tabulating quite a number of measures that you're doing to ensure that we reduce the IMR. Honorable Minister, most of these infant mortality rates are caused by our mothers who are on their family way, failing to commence their antenatal programs on time, and by the time they are going to the clinic or to the maternity to deliver, it will be too late to receive help from the health practitioners. From the measures that you outlined, I did not hear you mentioning how much sensitization you are putting across to the expectant mothers that they start or begin their antenatal routines well in the first early stages, so that the health practitioners can be monitoring the growth of the child from week 1 up to the time that they deliver. What are you doing? How much sensitization are you putting across to our health mothers, especially in the rural areas that surrounds our country? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for that follow-up question. Sensitization is an ongoing program through provincial health directors, district health directors, and indeed center leaders. There are posters, there are messages, except that we can't just go broadcasting every day. We need forums like this one for members of parliament, councillors, to help also enhance sensitization. But on the part of the government, but because of also restricted fiscal space, it's not possible to go from village to village. But to enhance that one, there is recruitment of health, these community health workers. That is what we are now encouraging, to increase the numbers, because they interact with the communities very, very effectively. We would want even these community radios to carry the same messages. If at all the fiscal space allows, we want to encourage that to be done on a daily basis, even on radio, TV. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. There is an indication from the Honorable Member for Chama South, but I'm not seeing him here. So, Honorable Member for Chama South, please log in and we want to see you so that you can ask the question. In the meantime, the Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving a chance to the people of Lundazi to ask a follow-up question on issues which are really affecting us in rural areas. Honorable Minister, IMR is a very serious challenge, especially in remote areas. Lundazi is not excluded. Honorable Minister, the scenario in the village as at now is that when maybe a woman is pregnant, the mothers-in-law from either side have to go and wait for a particular lady at the hospital. They literally shift because of the distances. They literally shift to go and wait for the young lady until when they deliver. Now, if you have 4 or 5 girl children who become pregnant, it means that you are going to spend your whole year going kuchilindizia, the way they call it, you know, they go into waiting. So meaning that the whole program, instead of you going to farm to cultivate, you end up just staying at Chiwandaodi or maybe at Mwase, waiting for the young girl to deliver so that they can be able to access the facilities. Now, here is the situation, Honorable Minister. One of the ways we have tried to assist this IMR to reduce is by building these maternity annexes in each and every ward. Yes. Why not? Yes, because it is money that you and me donate. So we have used, they are public funds. We have used CDF, proudly so, to build all those clinics closer to the people so that they do not lose out economically when it comes to when young girls become pregnant. Now, Honorable Minister, the challenge is this. The hospitals are done. Everything is ready. You have not managed to send us the workers. At Chanyondo, the clinic, the house is ready. At Chideza, the clinic, the house is ready. Even in Matembe, the clinic, the house is ready. But your office is not pushing enough to give us the workers and just a few equipments so that these facilities can start operating. How are you going to curb this IMR which is escalating, and yet you are not sending the workers to come and start doing the work so that they can even appreciate you that you have done the work? Otherwise, a building without workers and everything, it is just a white elephant. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I thank Madam Nyirenda for this question. Your government and President Hakainde, in the 4 years, you have seen what has happened. He has transformed the health sector from recruitment of personnel, construction of hospitals, clinics, everywhere, ambulances. So much is being so spent on the Ministry of Health and presented. It has never happened before. Meaning, political will is there. The desire is there. But you see, health alone cannot be sustained without energy, which we are talking about, without agriculture, without education. We have to sympathize with the envelope. We have done so much in the construction of the infrastructure everywhere. But now what is our next? Our next is, where do we get the money to employ the staff? This year, we are lucky again, we have been given 2,500. But against the population, that's not enough. We are still begging with the Ministry of Finance, other cooperating partners, to see how we can resolve this issue. This government is very alive, up to the last mile, to save the lives of Zambians. The President has emphasized the maternity annexes, water, electricity especially, even solarization. We are working very hard every day. We are not even sleeping. Very soon, there is a compact which we are chasing to see. We are not sleeping. We are not sleeping to resolve the issues that have never been resolved for a long time. President Hakainde is not sleeping, and his ministers are not sleeping. If you were with me, I'm always troubling the Minister there of Finance. That's what I mean. I'm always troubling him. At times I want to greet him. He's too busy with other issues. But I want to bother him for this, to resolve the same issue we're talking about. Give us space. Let's resolve other issues. At the moment, what is critical is energy. But we are recruiting, and whatever we recruit, we shall give you. And we said, this increase the CDF to 40. We resolve the issues of you buying certain equipment. Then leave us to buy equipment for bigger hospitals like level 1 and level 2. Let's come together, still government money. The 40 million coming is JRZ. And also from the Treasury. Yes, we are not saying no. We are saying yes, but the capacity, the capacity is allowing. Madam Speaker, the capacity is not allowing at the moment to attend to every issue that is surrounding us. We have been surrounded with issues which are very, very critical. Right now, energy, fuel. We talk of many other issues. They're coming from one envelope, but we are doing every effort. I won't disclose anything, but we are working very hard. Very soon, God might help us. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Before we call on the Honorable Member for Chama South, Honorable Member for Chiengi, you want to raise a point of order? What's the point of order?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. The Honorable Minister of Health, he is one of my favorite ministers. Now, Madam Speaker, I'm concerned because according to our standing orders, number 71, Madam Speaker, we're supposed to be factual. Now, I'm concerned because he's one of my favorite ministers. He has not brought the evidence to show that he doesn't sleep at night. Is the minister in order to mislead this House and himself? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Oh, the honorable members. I'm sure the honorable minister, it was a manner of speech to show that he's seriously working on the issue, paying all the attention. So it's just a matter of expression, a manner of expression. Not that he's not sleeping literally. I think that would be wrong. So the point of order is not admitted. The honorable member for Kamfisa is anxious. I know. After that, then the honorable member for sorry. Yes, that we will be given preference. So please proceed.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Minister of Health, we have about 5 or 6 health facilities that are in the constituency. Misaka B5, which is a facility that was built from the 650 health posts that were initially started. Health workers have been provided, equipment has been provided, fully functional. There's another farm block called Chankalamo, where we've built a health facility under CDF from the 2021 CDF, which we found, which was made available. And then we've built 2 others from the new Constituency Development Fund. The Member of Parliament for Lundazi asked you a very important question. My question therefore, Madam Speaker, is, do you have a plan that matches every health facility that is built with corresponding human resource? Where there's a plan, where you know that Kamfinsa is building, Choma Central is building, there must be a plan which allows you to quickly fit the workers into the health facility. So I wanted to understand, Madam Speaker, is there a plan, instead of waiting for a phone call from Kamfinsa, instead of waiting from a phone call from Lufubu, there must be a plan which is available. Is that plan available, Minister, which helps us match infrastructure with the health workers so that we quickly make health facilities operational? Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Kangombe. First and foremost, we have trained nurses. There are plenty. Doctors. There are plenty. Infrastructure using CDF, increased CDF in these 4 years. We have managed to build throughout the whole country. And what next is to find the money. But part of the money is already there, the 40 million. You can plan to help us to hire even the staff if you want. It's your plan. But planning starts with the councils. But if we are waiting for Minister of Finance, I'm saying it is subjected to other demands. We cannot only send all the entire money. If we had all the money, yes, as the Minister for Health, I would desire to take stock and employ everyone for 3,600 health posts and the hospitals that are existing. What is important, the infrastructure is there, equipment, some of it is there, and some money to buy some equipment is also there. What remains is the huge chunk. How do we fill? How do we get specialists? Where do we get the money? That's what I'm saying. As government, we are not sleeping. Your leader, the president, is looking around. There is a compact which has been designed to look at it and see which direction shall we go. It is too early for me to say certain things which we are lobbying with Minister of Finance and other cooperating partners. Just give us chance. Give Hakainde Chilema chance. A solution will be found. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The last question will be from the Honorable Member for Cham South. Are you still the Honorable Member? He's not there, so we make progress. Motion, the Honorable Member for Kankoyo.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that this
Order. As the time is 16:40, I suspend business for 20 minutes for a health break.
Good afternoon. You are still watching Parliament television, and the House has taken a 20 minutes health break, and just before the break we had Kankoyo Member of Parliament who was just about to move a motion in which he wants to urge the House to adopt the report of the Committee on Youth, Sport and Child Matters on the accession of the optional protocol and Convention of the Rights of the Child on the involvement of children in armed conflicts for the 5th session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 11th November 2025.
Yes, indeed, and we now just take a look at some of the business that the House has considered so far. When business commenced, Madam Speaker did make some announcements, and in the first announcement, Madam Speaker informed the House that the National Assembly of Zambia Gender Subcommittee, comprising selected members of staff, operates a benevolent fund account to which some members of Parliament and staff contribute on a quarterly basis through the payroll. And from these contributions, the National Assembly has supported a number of vulnerable causes, both financially and through donations of various items such as food, clothing and school requirements, among important items.
And Madam Speaker did invite the honourable members to support the work of the Gender Subcommittee through voluntary monthly contributions to the benevolent account to be deducted through the payroll. And she did say that honourable members who were currently contributing are encouraged to increase their contributions to make them monthly instead of quarterly. She also added that the sign-up forms are available and will be distributed to the honourable members.
And in the other announcement, Madam Speaker reminded the House that debate on the motion of supply, which was moved by the Honourable Minister of Finance and motion of supply, which was moved by the Honourable Minister of Finance and National Planning on Tuesday, 4th November 2025, will be concluded on Wednesday, 19th November 2025.
And in this regard, members of the backbench will actually conclude their debate today, which is Thursday, 13th November 2025, while members of the front bench will be given an opportunity to respond to the various issues that have been raised by the backbench for 3 days, from tomorrow, Friday, 14th November 2025 to 19th November 2025. Madam Speaker, encourage all the honourable members from the backbench who have not yet debated to do so today. So that was the other announcement. And in the last announcement, the Honourable Madam Speaker did recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Emmanuel Adventist Secondary School in Chisamba District. And on behalf of the National Assembly, she welcomed the visitors to the institution. And after that, that, there was a ministerial statement that was rendered by the Minister of Science and Technology, Honorable Felix Mutati, and this was on the installation and communication towers across the country, as well as the prospects of customers roaming from one network to another. And the House went on to consider questions for oral answer under Standing Order number 80. So that is business that has been considered on the floor of the House so far. And business of the House will resume at 17 hours. And just now we take a break. We'll be back.